Once again, if you're joining us, we are here at Music Compound with Jennifer Msumba talking about her journey with autism. So Jen, if you could just tell us who you are, talk to us about your journey having autism, and just give us the insight of who you really are.
Well, I've been a long road with my autism. Like from the time I was little, I had very bad self-esteem and confidence, and I got bullied a lot in school, so my confidence was not very high. And my mom would always tell me, "You're great, you're smart," but I was my mom, so it doesn't always sink in. And I went through a lot of years like missing out on things because I was scared, or because people would like treat me like I couldn't do things, and I wasn't given opportunities. People would not say, "Oh, would you like to do this with us or this?" I wasn't given opportunities. And so when I started getting older and got my own access to the internet and started seeing like more of things that are out there, and I started trying to said, you know, maybe I can do things. And I started trying to make my own way with things, because no one was going to really give me opportunities.
And then can you kind of give us an insight of the child that you were, the adolescent that you were between the ages like 8 and 18?
Yeah.
And your struggles with
it was definitely the hardest time. Like when you're a kid, it's hard for everybody when they're a kid, I think. But it was hard for me because I didn't really have a lot of friends. Like as I got older, I did have friends when I was little, but as I started getting older, and like the differences between me and the other kids got more, because they started like growing up more than me, kind of. I started losing friends, so I was just very, very lonely. Just like things like they start being in cliques, and like boys and girls dating, and just things like I was just like, I don't want anything to do with stuff, or it was just too hard for me. Like instead of just like when you're a kid, it's kind of easy. It's like, okay, everybody goes outside and plays foursquare and tag, and you know the rules because everybody does the same thing. When you're little, it's like you know what to expect. When you started getting older, it started getting more about like friendships and things, and it got confusing.
Right. So would you say it's more along the lines of the 10 and 12-year-old, like as you were getting to those teenage years?
Yeah, teenage years.
So can you talk to our audience, the ones that are especially in that age group between the 12 and 13 years of age? Can you talk about that journey, your teenage years, and how you were treated and how you overcame that, and what advice you would give to individuals that are facing those teenage years?
Yeah, my teenage years were very confusing, and I did my best, but it was just hard to navigate that. I think if you're a teenager like right now, most advice I could give to a teen now, or young teen, is I know when you're a kid you worry so much about what the other kids are thinking, or that they're going to make fun of you, but really it's just don't be afraid to be the person you are and show the gifts you have, because those teenage years don't last long, and as soon as you get out of high school, it's like nobody cares about that stuff anymore. So not to worry so much about being cool, and if you're not the coolest one, because exactly when you graduate the next day, nobody cares anymore.
And that goes for all across the board. I think it's all across the board for anybody that's in high school right now or middle school. Nobody cares literally what your status was, how many clubs you were in, or how many letters or symbols you have on your jacket as well. I think that goes all across the board. Not even if you're dealing with autism or any other disability that some of the individuals may have during those ages. So I think that's really important advice, and I think that's really key, so I appreciate that. Talk to us about 20s and 30s, like when you were starting to get into music. Talk to us about the journey post high school and all the high school drama.
Well, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was actually in and out of a lot of like different group homes and things. But the one thing I held on to was music. Like that kept me meals. I used to get moved from place to place to place, but I always would listen to music constantly, and if they had a piano, I would play. And That was
before you had training, or you had training, or you just started playing?
I never really had piano training. I just taught myself. Since when I was little growing up, we had a piano in the house, and I used to teach myself piano, and then I took violin lessons in school.
I thought you were just learning violin, or not too long ago, right?
Yeah, I was refreshing.
Okay,
I was refreshing.
Okay, so you've always had music in your life, and you think music maybe like through your 20s and 30s was really instrumental as far as like helping with
it helped me get through everything. I was like all the things that were happening to me, and I didn't get to perform or play as much, but I used to constantly listen to it, and in my mind I would dream someday I'd like to play like this, or I'd like to play this song on a stage. Like I would literally like dream about that in my head. I would daydream about that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. And we're going to talk a little bit more about your performance in a couple minutes, about how that dream became true for you at Music Compound and on the AGT stage and many other things. So I think it's just amazing just to understand your journey and see the struggles and see like moving from home to home, how music has really been the constant in your life as well. Let's talk about the last 10 years, and when you say everything took off, what does that mean to our viewers?
Well, I think it's when I was allowed to have a little more freedom in my life, and I had my own like internet access and my computer and phone, and I started kind of getting on YouTube and watching things, and I started looking around, and I say to myself, like, I can do things.
Right.
And I think just because I got more mature too, I said, wait a minute, I can do that. I can do things, and just started posting little piano videos.
Right, and I remember those videos as well, where it just show your fingers on the keys as well. You were doing those piano covers, and we're going to get into that as well. So that's really, really important. Let's talk about the vlog. Let's talk about how you got into the vlog. I do remember this actually, and nobody at your facility knows about the vlog.
Yeah.
You were catching them all up, which I know you've done to me too. When you came in here, you're like, you're on my vlog. I'm like, oh my God, is my hair do I look good? So I put makeup on today. So let's talk about the vlog, and then I want to share this for sure.
Okay, the vlog is like my heart. I love doing it. It started out, I was telling him before that when I did a thank you video on my piano channel, and everyone was said, we want you to talk more, tell more stories. Like they just liked how I talked. It was weird because I was just talking, just being myself. And so I started making little vlogs on my piano channel, but I was like, wait, I can't do this. I can't mix the two of them because people come here to listen to music.
And that was Jennifer Adventures TV?
That was on my Jen Msumba music channel.
That was music. Okay.
Yeah, and so I started a second channel. It was called Jen Adventures, but I made it more of a niche now, because that's one thing when you make channels on YouTube, you want it to be a niche, like to serve a certain audience. You can't just do random videos on YouTube. So, but the vlog, I started that after people said they wanted me to talk more. And
awesome. Like, how do you decide today I'm going to create a video, or is it just like real life? Like, this happened to me today, I had a bad day, or I had this amazing cheeseburger, or I wrote this amazing song. Like, talk to us about how you come up with those videos.
Yeah, usually it's something that's happening in my life, and I just tell the story about it. If I know ahead of time, like I'm going to do something, I'm going fishing, I'm going Music Compound, I'll start out the day talking about that. So I know I'm going to make a video around that. Or sometimes I'll just think, oh, this is a subject I would like to talk about, and I'll just do a sit-down video and just discuss that topic. So it's kind of how I come up with content, is what I'm thinking about, or what I think is an issue that people want to hear.
So let's talk about rebranding autism.
It's like I basically created this channel, and this what I do because I'm trying to show people, the world, and people that have autism, that you don't have to stay within the expectations that are had for you, and that you like that I can still live like a full, even though I live in a facility and I have autism, I can still live a full life, and you can make a way for yourself, and you can come out of your shell. Right. You know, and try, you can show your gifts.
Right.
Yeah.
You can still have a future. Like everybody you could still develop a plan and achieve that.
Right.
The Rebranding Autism is educational, it's inspirational, it's pushing the envelope, it's really getting you to a point that you never thought you would be, right? Like, did you ever imagine that you would have your own YouTube channel, be on TBS?
I was so shy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I wouldn't even look up off the ground. Like when I was a kid, I just look at the ground, that's it.
Right. And how did you come up with Rebranding Autism, that name, that title?
Well, I wanted to change to something so that people would resonate and understand what my channel was about.
Okay.
And my brother actually came up with it.
Cool.
Kudos
to you, brother.
Yeah, I bounce a lot of ideas off of him. He's like my behind the scenes person.
Okay.
And he's like, how about rebranding autism because you're changing and things. I was like, yeah, I like that. So that's how we came up with it.
It's very catchy. I mean, you have definitely a reality TV series. Let's talk about the Employables.
Yeah.
Or is it
the Employables?
Yeah, the Employables.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
That's a show that I was found through my YouTube channel. They contacted me and said, we're interested in having you cast for our upcoming show that we're doing. And I was found out more about it, and I was like, they are finding people jobs, and I didn't really have like an actual outside job at the time. And so they cast me on the show for A&E.
That's awesome. So tell our viewers where they can watch this. Do you know what segment you're going to be on?
I don't yet know my episode number, but it premieres May 15th on A&E at 10 p.m.
Okay, and the people that are on this show, the Employables, they have
autism or Tourette's, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, either autism and or Tourette's.
And you had to go somewhere and work for a duration of time. Mm-hmm. Okay, where did you go to work? Can you tell us that?
Yeah, I don't think I can tell you like what's on the show yet. Well, I have my word of advice that I love so much.
Okay, please tell us that.
Like, my mom, I was in a supermarket with my mom, and like it was really busy, and I kept jumping out of everyone's way and apologizing, like I'm sorry. And my mom, she got sick of it. She said, Jennifer, you don't have to apologize for your place in this world. She said, you belong in this world as much as anyone else. And I think she wasn't really thinking it was profound. Like, she wasn't trying to be profound, but I took that in, and that changed me.
I love it. As you know, Music Compound loves giving back to our community. And every single month we select a different charity. We've got a couple great things going on. But I was just so wowed by you and so moved and inspired. And you know, when talking about where you wanted to make a donation, I know that you and I talked about Easter seals, and I would like Music Compound to make a donation of $1,000 in your honor to the local Easter seals. So Jen and I, anybody else that wants to come and take a tour of Easter seals on April 25th, we're going to be going there because you'll come with me to do the donation, and then you have your lesson with Denise that same day. So it'll make a great day for us. But anyway, it's going to be April 25th, and we're going to be presenting Easter seals with a $1,000 donation from Music Compound in honor of Jen Msumba, so that we can help fund some of those programs that they have. They have some great support programs, educational programs, and it's for all ages. Similar to Music Compound, it's all ages. And I just think you're a great testament to our mission to inspire, collaborate, and educate individuals. And I'm just honored to be here with you on this stage and with Denise as well. And I want to thank all of our viewers today for joining us and everybody in the audience.
Thank you.
So would you like to add anything else or want to give a shout out to anybody?
Shout out to my mom. She's awesome.
Well, and we got to give your brother a shout out for rebranding autism.
Yeah, my brother, he does a lot behind the scenes for me.
Okay, awesome. And we hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for spending your time with us today.
Okay.